Now let's look at the second part of the MCDU handling presentation, and that will be the arrival setup. So we have now completed our flight, we are in cruise, and before reaching our top of descent, we're gonna want to prepare everything for the approach and landing. The approach and arrival setup is done by the pilot flying before reaching top of descent. Preferably, we start getting information about the weather, etc. well in advance of reaching our top of descent, so it gives us good time to set everything up. We will need information from the operational flight plan for routing. We will also need the latest weather from ATIS at our destination, and we will need to take a quick look at the ECAM status page to see the aircraft status. We may have failures that impact our performance for an arrival, or approach capability, or fuel penalty, etc., or landing performance, and going through that performance would have to be done before doing the actual setup for arrival. Once we have the information we need, we use this little layout. It's known as the HAT. It is not an acronym anymore for HIT, no. It is simply a layout, as you can see here, of the keys, of the pages, which you're going to set it up and the sequence you're going to do it in. We will start at the flight plan page right here, and then from there move on to the RADNAV page, set up the progress page, then the performance page, and from the performance page, the fuel prediction, and finally secondary flight plan. Follow this little hat and you will set everything up in the right sequence. We have the operational flight plan, we have the charts we need, and we have the latest weather. So let's go ahead and set up the arrival into our destination. The setup of the HAT took us first and foremost to the flight plan page. Here I will enter to insert the runway and approach, and if needed at star for my arrival. I will also verify the approach, all the waypoints, the final descent, the final course. All this is, if it's already inserted, verified, and if it's not already inserted at this point. Once everything has been checked on the flight plan, I will go to my RADNAV page to check my nav aids for my arrival. If I manually have to tune VORs or NDBs, I will do so. If it's not manually tuned, I will check, of course, my ILS and my final course. But again, to override the auto-tuning function, you'd want to set in any nav aids manually at this point so that they stay on your navigational displays when you need it. From the RADNAV page, I will go to my progress page, and in my progress page, I will set in the bearing and distance to the landing runway threshold, again, situational awareness, and check my accuracy. From my progress page, I will go to the performance page. From the performance page, you will, when you click the performance page key, land on the cruise performance page. You will click next phase to go to the descent, and next phase to get to the arrival, the approach part, which is where you want to set in information about the landing. QNH, temperature, wind, MDA decision height, landing configuration, as well as verify the go around, which is the phase after the approach, and thrust reduction altitudes, all have to be done on the performance page as part of this setup. Once I've completed the performance, I will then go to the fuel prediction page. This is a new page, as the NDB page for fuel quantities is no longer available. I said before, once the engines are started, the fuel prediction page gives you the quantities of fuel, taxi, chip, alternate, final reserve, and extra fuel. This is not available through the NDB anymore. We will, on the fuel prediction page here, be required to check the estimated fuel on board, as well as the extra time and fuel at our destination, as this gives you an indication as to how long you could potentially hold for before you would have to divert. From the fuel prediction page, the secondary flight plan will be set up. In normal cases, this would just be a copy of the active flight plan, but If you want to do, for example, a circling approach, you might want to set it up for the actual landing runway, since the approach in is going to be one, but then you're going to have to circle to land on a different runway, or even a sidestep procedure to a parallel runway. Either could be used via the secondary flight plan and might give the pilots a bit of ease during the approach, knowing everything has already been set up.